Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. It is Friday morning. When I'm filming this, and I've got a lot going on today. It's pretty early in the morning. You can probably tell that I just woke up and crawled out of bed to get out here to get some work done. But late last night, I cut back a Czechmark Trilogy Weigela that I need to dig up, get potted, and wait for it to get planted in the back where I'm starting a new flower bed. It's just a little bit too big for where it is, and when I bought it and planted it there, it seemed like the right choice. But as the season progressed, I realized it got too big. When it finished flowering, it was just a big floppy mess. So I cut it back last night in the hopes that it will kind of rejuvenate it, if you will. And then I'll get it planted in the back, but not today. I've also got a pretty exciting project that I don't know if I'm going to film. My sister and I are going over to my parents' house today to help my father plant up some of his flower beds, clean them up, make them look nice and tidy. So if I feel comfortable, if they let me, I will film that process or some of it for you. But let me turn the camera around and show you what I am dealing with. Get it dug up. I hope that I can get the camera set up in a way that it'll look nice, it'll look proper, and you guys can see what I'm doing to give you the best views. So let's take a look at the bush. I can actually see it right here. It's right by my front door. Kind of. Let's just take a look. So there it is. Let me kind of see if I can back up a little bit. So you can see a whole bunch of my peonies. The flowers are finishing and falling on the floor, out ground. I'll clean that up in a minute. But that's what I'm going to work on. So when I originally planted this shrub, this whole flower bed wasn't cut out. Let me kind of back up here. This whole flower bed wasn't cut out like this. This bed, which you guys saw in the tour of this bed a few days ago, was actually skinnier. It was about to the edge of this pot here. So this past spring, I bumped out the garden bed probably about a good 2 feet. So it actually came up, the garden bed came up and still had this little swoop in it, but it was about, again, 2 feet in. So the Czechmark Trilogy Weigela kind of was like a border plant, if you will. But then I extended the bed, and if you step back and look, you can see that the Weigela is not centered with my statue, which would be centered with the curve of this bed. It's kind of hard to see, but you get the idea. So I'm going to dig it up, get it potted, and it'll wait for its chance to get planted on the east side fence line in the backyard. And right there, I'm going to put this guy. Now, you'll get a tour of this west side flower bed at a later time, but for a good month now, I've had this Bobo Hydrangea sitting in this little plastic container and sat over here. It's leafed out, it looks nice, it's healthy, it's doing fine, I keep it watered, but it used to live right there in that spot. Thing about it is, over there is pretty shady and doesn't get a lot of sun, and if you can see, this plant is leaning off to the side, off to the left. From I bought it, that's how it's been. I planted it and it started leaning forward to catch the light, and I'm kind of gonna plant it and tip it a little bit so that it can grow upright. So let me set the camera up, dig out that Czechmark Trilogy Weigela, get it in the box where the hydrangea was, and get the hydrangea planted. as you can see, the root ball is slanted with the back of the root ball tipped higher than the front of the root ball, so that way it gives the appearance that this hydrangea is straight. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but from my vantage point, this bad boy is as straight as can be. So it's perfectly lined up with my statue, my little lime hydrangea, and Henry. Well, not Henry really, but yes, Henry. So let me fill them in. I'm going to put some compost in the hole, some biotone starter fertilizer, and then I'm going to put this Czechmark Trilogy Weigela where this Bobo Hydrangea used to live. Now I just added some biotone starter fertilizer to the hole and some locally made compost called Leaf Grow. I'm just sprinkling that around, and then I'm going to backfill with native soil. Now I've never planted a root ball with the tip facing up like this before, so I am hoping that this is not a big mistake, but I'm pretty confident that it will be just fine. You can see I have very sandy soil. Some parts are sandy, some parts are hard clay. But I feel like most of America, or most people who garden in the United States, have clay soil. So don't feel alone. We've all got it. Right, so everything is looking a mess right now, but I've got the Bobo Hydrangea in. I don't know, to me it's still looking like it's leaning a little bit. But so what I'm gonna do now, while I've gotten everything all, kind of dug up, is I'm gonna plant these coleus, which was always the plan. These are the Color Blaze coleus from Proven Winners. Come on, folks. Oh, Color Blaze Torchlight. They can grow in sun or shade. They get 24 to 36 inches tall, 18 to 24 inches wide. Focus, focus, focus. No, no, no. Yes, no, maybe so. Come on, camera. Yeah, it's not focusing. But I don't know if anybody else, but when I go to the garden store, I tend to overbuy because, as we all know, the next time we go back, what we have, they don't have it. What we want, they don't have it. So I only bought 3, thinking that it would be enough to fill in this area, and clearly it's not. I need one more for back there and another one for right here. But I might skip the one for here because I planted 2 dahlias. One came up because it had this little stick in it indicating it. The other one, I took the little marker out. A couple weeks passed. I was weeding in the garden, saw this thing come up, tried to pull it, realized it was a dahlia, and that's the mess that I made. So let's plant these, and then we'll take a look at the area. Now, I don't know how most people plant annuals, but what I like to do with annuals or with anything that I still have in a pot is I like to put the pot in there to make sure, you know, everything's fine before I take out the plant out of the little can. Typically, I put Osmocote in the hole, but I have my Biotone out here, and I didn't feel like going back in the garage to get it. So I'll just sprinkle a little bit of Biotone starter fertilizer and backfill. And I think having this dark foliage with the green fringing is going to look nice up against this foliage here. So this is the finished look. It looks nice. I like how it turned out, and I'm so glad to finally have that Weigela out of there. So what I did, instead of planting the third one there, I bumped it back a little bit in the hopes that they do get as wide as they say they're going to and fill in that area. But knowing me, I'm more than likely going to go back to the garden center and see if I can find two more, one for there and one for over there. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but when I mulch an area after I've mulched the whole bed and I can see like the sharp difference between the new mulch and the old mulch, it makes it feel like I want to grab my mulch and just mulch everywhere again. But I'm resisting the urge to do that, although it looks so stark, because I know that in a few weeks this is going to fade to that color. I wish it stayed this dark brown, but it's, I think, a natural no dye fertilizer mulch, but whatever. So that's the look at this area. I am super relieved to have it done. I think it looks much better than it did previously. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss updates as the season progresses, as I tour you through this area and show you how these plants fill in and do. Now I'm going to clean up my mess, head inside, get some breakfast, and head over to my parents. If you're not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel, with the notification bell on. Drop a like and a comment, and we will see you in the next video.